What man, welcome to the podcast. You best go settle down and open your ear a little bit and take a listen and take heed. Any sound boy if you dead, you want to test the podcast, you go get gunshot in your bamba hole. Seen? Settle down, my youth. We're about to get into it. Lord of mercy. Burn all your podcasts out there. Don't Stress Success are the best podcast ever. Shabba.
Yo. Shouts out to everybody tuned in, man. I am PThePolitician, man.
I'm Shabba Ranks. No. Daniel J. Scott. What's going on?
Listen, man, first thing first, man. Shout out to all the fathers out there, man. Happy mother-scucking Father's Day, man. Shouts out to all the deadbeat dads, too. That's what it is, man. We love you guys, too, man. Step your game up. It's what it is, man. How in the hell have you been, my friend?
I've been good, man. I've been busy practicing my Jamaican accent. No, that's a lie. That's a lie. It's a natural. It's a natural thing, you know. Just being living life, man. Strategizing. Money, 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 money. Money. That's been my modus operandi this week. What's good with you, P?
Man, I've been maintaining, man. I had a spectacular time with my dad yesterday. Hold on, let me get it together on my end. There we go. Boom. Yeah, man, I had a really spectacular time with my dad yesterday. I knew I wasn't going to be able to spend the time with him that I wanted today. So, you know, I just went out there and, for like 6 hours, man, we just talked about life. You know what I mean? And I haven't been doing my due diligence as a son to go out and check on my dad the last couple of months. I mean, things just been really crazy, flying. You know what I mean? But yesterday, man, I don't even remember how I got home. It was that kind of day yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So,
a day worth losing.
Yeah, man, absolutely, man. Dad, you watch right now. I love you, man. Happy Father's Day. That's what it is, man. So, it's a lot of craziness been going on in the world, man. You know what I mean? Let me pull up and see who are rocking with us right now, man. Salute to everybody tuned in. It looks like thus far we got Blair Bleezo Martin in the building. What's good? Donald Grimes in the building. Antoine Johnson in the building. Brian Tyree J. Olin in the building. Andrew Watson says, yo. Man, what's good, Andrew, man?
Yo.
That's what it is, man. So, hey, DJ Scott, man, I challenge you. You've been working on that accent, man. I challenge you to do this next segment in the accent, all right? You've been working on the Jamaican one and the South African one.
Which would you prefer? Well, I think we give him a bit of the Jamaican accent. I can hit him with the African one too.
All right, that's what it is.
It ain't nothing long, man. We're
so,
good.
With that being said, man, let's do it like this, man. Let's talk about North Korea and
Hey. North Korea.
North Korea.
Hey.
So Donald Trump went to visit Kim Jong-un in North Korea, man. Yo, did we just avoid a fucking nuclear war or what, man? How you feel about that?
What is this madness? Tell me what is going on. I can't.
You can't do it.
I can't talk about nothing serious in an accent like that.
I hear you, man.
And I don't think anyone else can take me seriously. I think we're just not doing justice to the topic. I hear about Kim Jong-un. She's not gonna work.
Yo, it's that kind of day today, man. I'm feeling some kind of way my damn self, man. But it's all about having fun, man. I tell you what, let's try to make our job a little bit easier here, and we're gonna jump into a video that talks about just this right here. Was it beneficial? Did we avoid nuclear war? Shouts out to MSNBC, man. We be stealing y'all content all the damn time on the Don't Stress Success podcast. It's what it is.
Once it's out there, it's out there.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Indeed. Here we go, man. Let's jump into it. Boom. Oh, snap. They got a trick for us. They gonna make us watch the ad first. Oh, see? That's what we get for stealing content. You know what I mean? we got to go for 30 seconds before we can even skip the damn ad.
What is this shit anyway?
Let's see, what is it?
Fuck out of here.
Invictus and its new Eau de Toilette Aqua. Fragrances for Men by Paco Rabanne.
You want me to? No. I don't get to another accent, man. I'm actually alright at accents, man. There's a few that I can't quite master.
This morning saying he has solved the problem of North Korea just a couple days after that summit. And of course, the question this week with that summit, with how the presidents described it afterwards, what do voters, what do the American people who watched their president sit down with Kim Jong-un this week, what do they make of it? Well, we got some fresh data. Monmouth has taken a poll on this. Some very interesting findings, and let's head over to the big board and find out. First of all, how about this? The baseline question. This is after the summit this week. The baseline question here, President Trump's ability to deal with the problem of North Korea. Overall, are you not confident? Are you leaning toward not confident? A majority are on the not confident side of that divide when it comes to President Trump in dealing with North Korea, which is what he's doing this week with that summit, trying to deal with it. 46% confident or leaning that way. So that maybe not a good number there for the president. Also, who gained more from this summit this week? Who gained more from the meeting? Not a lot of people are saying the U.S. ended up with the better end of that deal. 3 times as many saying North Korea, a good chunk there saying both equally, but not a lot of Americans looking at this and saying, hey, Donald Trump, who calls himself the master negotiator, negotiated something that's going to favor the U.S. more than North Korea. So maybe some negative numbers there. And yet, how about this? The bottom line question, probably the bottom line question on most people's mind when they look at this is that, did the meeting decrease the threat, the nuclear threat from North Korea? And here's one, it's interesting. A slim majority, 51%, say that in the end, it is likely that what happened this week between President Trump and Kim Jong-un did decrease that threat from North Korea and the nuclear threat. And that may explain this finding. Bottom line, ask folks, was it a good idea? Trump sitting down with Kim Jong-un, was that a good idea? 71% landing on the side of it was a good idea. Very interestingly, when this summit was first announced and this question was asked, should Trump have this meeting? Is that a good idea? That number was 8 points less. It was down at 63%. So there's a fair number of people this week who watched that summit, absorbed the reaction to it, and said, you know what, I changed my mind. I do think it was a good idea in hindsight. So not a lot of confidence maybe in the president himself, but the idea of sitting down, the idea of talking to people, I think more on the side there that ultimately that had some kind of, or could have some kind of a positive impact. President Trump's hour-long media blitz this morning. He made a number of inaccurate...
Let's talk about it for a moment. Let's talk about it, man. So I always love to get your perspective, DJ Scott, because you are outside of the U.S. So with that being said, how are you looking at things?
Well, funny enough, recently I've really been digging into North Korea and I'm watching a lot of interviews from people who have gone out there, documentaries to people who've gone out there. What that country is as far as the world is concerned, is an absolute smokescreen. Now, someone who visits North Korea, the moment they get off the plane, they have a guard assigned to them, and that guard is a guide. A guide, and that guide is with them every single step they take during their trip, except for when they go to their hotel. And the hotel is on an island just off the mainland that's not connected to anything else. Everybody who's gone there, they say it's like being a part of the theater or a play, where every single person they come across on their journey into North Korea is an actor. You know, and they're never taken anywhere outside of their main city, which is where all the rich people live and all these actors and actresses. Everything else is all poverty, prisoners, like war camps, like hard labor, not war camps, like hard labor camps. That's basically how the country's run. I think Kim Jong-un at this point now, because it's it's a dynasty, right? So it was his grandfather, and then it went to his father, then it went to Kim Jong-un's got an older brother, 2 older brothers. I think one of them died. The second one apparently is a sissy, so could never be a leader.
Oh wow!
Real shit.
Is that like an official term that they call them in North Korea, sissy?
Well, that's just like what I was researching was that was the term that was used.
Wow.
Just like they said he was like a girly boy, so he could never be like the leader of the country. And then it goes on to Kim Jong Un. The way that it, and I know this is long-winded, I just want to share some of the stuff that I've learned. Right, the only way that nobody's allowed to overthrow the government unless they're part of the family. So Kim Jong Un had his uncle killed, so that there's nobody left to overthrow him. The difference between him and like his father and his grandfather is that he's a lot more progressive, and I get this vibe from him now because I was watching the Dennis Rodman video as well. He was talking about how he is and about how he does. He has done some crazy stuff, but the vibe I get from Kim Jong Un is he's the weird kid on the playground that everyone's like, nah, no one really wants to stay away from that kid. That kid's weird. You know what I mean? But I feel like he wants to be cool and he wants to be on this world stage. And the only way he's known how to is to pose a threat to, manipulate people into having a conversation with him, which he's doing now. This is good. Yeah. In my opinion, this is good.
Yeah, I do too. And honestly, man, I don't really feel like he want that smoke, man. I really feel like the only thing that North Korea really has is that threat of a nuclear attack. You know what I mean? If you take nuclear weapons out of the equation, who's thinking about North Korea? Real shit. So, I think this was a great move. All right, so for those who know me, man, y'all really know how I feel about our president, right? But regardless, that's our president. I respect that, right? I don't agree with a lot of the politics, but I will say on this one right here, I think that he got it right. You know what I mean? I have to say that he got it right. The mere fact that he opened up the dialogue with one of America's biggest enemies, some dope shit.
Yeah.
Now,
it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt at all.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though. I'm not going to give 100% of the credit to Trump. I'm going to give him half the credit, but the other half I give to South Korea's leader, because they are, their whole administration, man. I do not know the name of the president of South Korea, but I do understand that he's on a positive vibe, kind of going back to what this whole podcast exemplifies, positivity, you know what I mean? Yeah, and by opening up all this positivity towards a negative situation, I feel like you can have no choice but to come out with a positive outcome, you know what I mean? So that's what it is, man.
Funny enough, man, I was watching another video, and you'll probably remember this shit, bro, as will a lot of people who watch this. Do you remember how demonized Obama was when he said he wanted to sit down and talk with Kim Jong-un? Do you remember how the same news anchors, bro, the exact same news anchors that are on the news saying, what a great president Trump is, he's really done a good job here, the exact same news anchors, bro, like 2 years ago when Obama wanted to do this, were calling him, telling him he wasn't fit to do his job, to sit down with a tyrant and a dictator.
Right.
Crazy, bro.
That is crazy, man. I mean, I've never met a person that didn't like Obama that could tell me policies that Obama set forth that they didn't like. It was always some other shit that's like, what does that even have to do with being a fucking president? You know what I mean? But with this president that we have, I can break down policies, man. That's a whole show that I could do as far as the policies that are being set forth, man. It doesn't have anything to necessarily do with him as a person, but some of these policies, it's just buffoonery. And it just goes to show, man, in America, man, this is the most hypocritical, racist, best place on earth to be. You know what I mean?
Bit of everything. Like if you took everything into consideration, I guess it balances out a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Not mad at it, man. Let's go to the crowds real quick, man. I see Mike White is in the building. Chris Drain is in the building. Shelby Brook just tuned in, man. We appreciate y'all, man. Listen, how y'all feeling about North Korea? Let us know in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Did we just dodge a nuclear war? Do you feel like Trump looked weak? You know what I mean? Like, how do you feel about it, man? So, DJ Scott, man.
What's up?
A lot of stuff has happened this week, man.
Yes. So crazy, man. It feels like that every week, to be fair, man. There's a lot of weird and crazy people out there, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. With that being said, man, you about to have this baby. Not to say that your baby's weird and crazy or anything like that.
Hey, what? What?
But the world is weird and crazy, man. How are you faring with that transition in your life, man?
I'm good, man. I'm ready. I just wanted to be here now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm done waiting.
Yeah.
So if she could kindly hurry up, that would be great.
Indeed, man. And y'all are going to name her Amelia, correct?
That's correct, yeah.
That's what's up, man. I'm proud of you, my brother. Every chance I get, man, I just want to salute you for that, especially on this Father's Day. That's what it is. You know what I mean?
I got a card today too.
Got your first Father's Day card?
My first Father's Day card,
Okay.
and it counts. I know she's not born, but it counts, folks.
Yeah, it does. It really does. That's the one that you framed. You know what I'm saying? That first Father's Day card, man. Indeed, man. So I want to jump to the comments real quick, man. They talking about North Korea in the comments. Mike White says, I think it's huge for the world. Andrew Watson says, Scotland has weapons stored on the Clyde that are here by choice of Westminster, not our own government. If the British government got involved more with the Korea situation, we'd be dragged into it. All right, that's a very deep perspective, man, coming all the way from Scotland. So, yo, man, appreciate that, Andrew. That's what's up. I don't really know much about Scotland. So, yo, I would love to hear more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think there's so many countries. Like I saw this picture. There was like it was the lineup of the war, and they said like, oh god, it's like a lineup for a sports game or something. You know what I mean? All these countries are on this side, all these countries on that side. But at the end of the day, man, as soon as someone presses that button, everybody's fucked. Everybody's fucked.
Pretty much, man. I think everybody knows that shit too. Ain't nobody finna start no fucking nuclear.
No one's making out of that unless you're living somewhere secluded or some shit.
Right.
Because the thing is, like, before bombs even hit, a country knows it's about to get hit because they got so many, navigation systems and so many radars that, like, oh shit, there's a nuke on our way. It's going to be here in 10 minutes. Let's work out how to get rid of it. In the meantime, press the button, bro. One coming straight out the other way. You know what I mean? Right. We got, I know America's got some land. Oh, where to is it? It's not Germany. I don't know. It's somewhere in like Eastern, Northern Europe, where they've got like a site dedicated just to nuclear missile launches. Right, we're like close enough to Russia to just boom.
Yeah. Mike White says we need to communicate if we're to understand each other. When we understand each other, we start to fear each other less. Very true, man. I love that statement. See Dusty Rose and John Striegel in the building. What it do, baby? What it do, man? Let's go ahead and keep it moving and jump into this next topic, man. This one's pretty interesting. Goddamn, Tekashi and Chief beef. I got to be honest with you. We've talked about Tekashi 6ix9ine a couple of times, right? Mm-hmm. And I didn't know who the hell he was for the longest. I rephrase it. I didn't know anything about his music for the longest. Yeah. I knew him based off all the bullshit that he does on social media. So this one right here, man, the Tekashi Chief Keef beef. For those of you who are tuned in, you probably don't even know what the fuck a Tekashi 6ix9ine is. Shit sounds like a goddamn Japanese dish on some shit. But I'm gonna bring you up to speed, man. We're just gonna jump into the video on this one right here, cause yeah. And there's a deeper reason as to why we're even talking about this. Going back to the name of this podcast, because normally, we wouldn't expunge energy on the negativity, right? But there's a lesson to be learned that goes along with this show. So let me just jump into it, man. Who is Tekashi 6ix9ine? Why is he beefing? What the fuck is this about? Let's find out.
So this Chief Keef and Tekashi beef just got really real really quick. Let's just get into it. So as I'm sure you guys may have seen earlier today, it was reported that shots were fired at Chief Keef out in New York. Now this was absolutely insane news, completely unexpected by me. And of course we don't have all the details of why Chief Keef was shot at or what's going on. But the popular rumor and assumption going around right now is that it has something to do with this recent beef between Chief Keef and Tekashi 6ix9ine. And it seems like this whole beef started building over the last couple of days. And I think a lot of people are wondering, like, why is this even happening? Like, where did this even start from? So I've been doing some research, and that's exactly what I'm gonna be telling you guys today. We're gonna try to figure out why this is even happening, where this started, and why Chief Keef and Tekashi even have problems in the first place. So I believe this goes back to early May last month when Tekashi 6ix9ine started beefing with Chief Keef's cousin Tato over Cuban Doll. So apparently Tato is like dating Cuban Doll, or was dating Cuban Doll, and then she started hanging around Tekashi a lot. I don't know if they were hooking up, I don't know what was going on between them, but Cuban Doll and Tekashi were hanging out a bunch, possibly dating. I don't really know the specifics on that, but basically this is what ignites the beef between Tato and Tekashi 6ix9ine. There's a pretty famous clip now of Tato calling Tekashi 6ix9ine that of course Tekashi recorded, where Tato says, "Lose her number, I kill people." It was a pretty insane clip. He looked dead serious in the face, but that clip was pretty big, and that's where I think people first started hearing about this beef. So Tato and Tekashi were basically fighting over Cuban Doll, and then a video surfaces of Cuban Doll like recording herself with a bruised face and stuff like that, where allegedly Tato had beat Cuban Doll over her like just being seen with Tekashi on like Instagram and stuff like that. So then this whole thing continues to escalate. Tekashi takes Cuban Doll on like a vacation. They go out to Hawaii, they chill, and I think, the issues, at least behind the scenes and stuff, continue going on with Tato and Tekashi 6ix9ine. Now, about a week after Tekashi takes Cuban Doll to Hawaii, they do their little thing. Another video comes out of Tato addressing 6ix9ine, saying, you know what, enough with the internet stuff, like we don't do internet beef, let's just meet up, we can fight, we can shoot, we can do whatever you want to do, but enough with the internet beef. And that's kind of the last video that I saw between Tato and 6ix9ine. There might have been more in between and after what I just talked about, but like with Tekashi, he's constantly posting stuff and arguing with people online. I just can't keep up with all that, but I believe that whole situation with Tato, Cuban Doll, and Tekashi is what led up to this whole thing with Tekashi and Chief Keef. So if you guys didn't know, a couple of days ago, Tekashi posted a video calling out Chief Keef and Lil Reese, saying that they're not going to do anything. Tekashi's given them 48 hours. If nothing happens within that 48 hours, then that proves Tekashi right. Like, all this stuff just started happening over the last few days. So I think somehow Chief Keef and Lil Reese got involved in this whole situation because, like I said, Tato is Chief Keef's cousin, their family, and I don't know if something happened behind the scenes that we don't know about, but I believe that's what led into Tekashi calling out Chief Keef and Lil Reese, which of course leads us to present day. Chief Keef flew out to New York. Who knows why he's out in New York? Maybe he's got some business opportunities or something out there. Maybe for some reason he had a show or something out there. Who knows? But Chief Keef was out in New York, and shots were fired this morning at Chief Keef. Now, the shots were terrible shots. They literally shot like the top of this hotel, or in like the middle of this hotel. Like, it doesn't even make sense. It was nowhere close to where someone would be standing on the ground. But regardless, reports started coming out a bunch this morning of, Chief Keef getting shot at, which is just absolutely crazy. And I don't know how this story is going to end, but I've just got a feeling it's not going to end well. But anyways, that is, the reason Tekashi and Chief Keef even have problems in the first place. It all seems to go back to Tato, Cuban Doll, and Tekashi, that whole little mess. Let me know what you guys think about all this down in the comments. Let me know what you think about Chief Keef getting involved, what Tekashi said about Chief Keef. I'm just curious to see what you guys think about this entire situation, because it's honestly kind of a mess. So hopefully everything ends up working itself out in like the most peaceful way possible. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure you drop a like on it, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and turn those notifications on. It's been Lyrical Love. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.
Yo, shouts out to my man Lyrical Love, man. Lyrical Hub, excuse me. So yeah, man, I want to dive into this one right here, right? Like I mentioned before earlier, we normally wouldn't be spending any time on negativity, right? Mm-hmm. But what I think about this is that a lot of it is genius. It's also the new way to market yourself on social media. Let's jump in the comments real quick and see how the audience feels, all right? Mike White says, I respect 69's hustle. His music is fire, but he need to be humble when he needs to be humble. Respect gets respect. I can dig it. Graham Sal Keld says, is it booty butt cheeks or move them butt cheeks? So he's responding to the post that we put up. And this kind of, yo, that was perfect timing too, Graham, because I put that post up to give an example of what's called trolling. And that's what Tekashi 6ix9ine is a master at. You know what I mean? And so we're about to dive into that. Mike White says, fuck internet beef. Andrew Watson says, I don't think beefs are too old. I think it's differently handled with new school rappers. The biggest and most notable was Shady Aftermath and Murder Inc. 50 getting stabbed, M being dragged in, and Proof being killed, Obi Trice being shot, too much blood spilled, and lives lost. I agree, man. Shouts out to Tim Jackson, man. Next to Tim in the building. So listen, man, let's dive into it, man. Going back to the description of this particular broadcast, I wrote that we got booty butt naked chicks in the building, simply just to mess with people. You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like on social media in 2018, that's the new wave. Like you just go ahead and you troll and you say the most outrageous things that you can say. You do the most outrageous things just to gain attention for your larger message. So let me throw it your way, DJ Scott. How you feel?
Man, he's winning, isn't he? You know what I mean? He's winning at everything right now. Love it or hate it, that's the model now for people who are just coming out of nowhere. You know, it's happening for a lot of artists, this controversy thing, where whether it's someone wearing a dress or a skirt, or I don't know, whether you agree with the thing they actually do, it's just the concept that every artist online needs to understand now, and that's you got to get attention, right? So you don't have to come out and be crazy and do some fuckery shit to get our attention, you know what I mean? But you've got to be creative, because I'm finding a lot of artists nowadays, all they're doing is just, well, I say nowadays, but they've been towing the line for a long time of just posting their music and waiting. You know what I mean? Hoping that all of a sudden 100,000 people are going to find their page and be like, yo, this shit's fire. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Not until you do something that's remarkable. And remarkable doesn't mean good. Remarkable means something that's worth talking about.
Pretty much summed it up, man. Pretty much summed it up. But I'm going to tell you where I feel like, if we talk about Tekashi in particular, right?
Okay.
I think that he is really on that fringe area, because what's going to end up happening is somebody's going to really get hurt. Like, from what I understand, he just recently took Chief Keef's baby mom on a shopping spree.
Yeah, bro. Did you see it? Did you see what she looked like?
I can't say that I did. Is she busted?
Well, let's just say that I understand now why Toys R Us have gone out of business, because Jeffrey the giraffe got knocked up by Chief Keef and
no
priorities. You know, she looked a bit like a giraffe.
Oh shit!
But you know, that's very shallow of me, so I apologize. But yeah, he's a lot of people are saying he's following that 50 Cent model, man. And the thing is like, right in the beginning, like, he's always been surrounded by goons.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he's a soft guy. People look at him and think, oh, no, this guy's nothing. I don't think, whether it's him, because do you remember his fight at the airport, and he might have run over and then fell over during the fight or whatever, but he got involved. He didn't just let his security handle it. I don't think he's soft. And the way he's talking, you know, no one, so anyone, like a lot of people who were talking, like Soulja Boy started talking shit, and he got run out of fucking LA the next day.
Oh,
you know what I mean? But Tekashi 6ix9ine, he's been to Chicago. You know what I mean? He's been to, he goes everywhere. You know what I mean? The amount of tours and shit he's doing, he's getting a lot of money and he's doing a lot of moves. And why are we not seeing videos of this guy getting shot or getting beat up? Yeah. He must be deep.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I personally believe, man. Because he's the master troll, he's not stupid. So I think when he's showing up at all these different spots, man, that fucker has hired security. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he has like the city's police department with him there as he's doing all of this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you've got to. You've man. You can't have just, you know, so your friend with a gun. Like you got to have some guy who knows the tells, knows the signs, knows when it's time to move and shit like that.
And so with that being said, let me tell you something that's amazing, right? You see this I'm holding in my hand? You can show people whatever the fuck you want to through this device. You know what I mean? And so if you only want people to see certain things and you only want to be projected a certain way, then that's what you show them. And my thing is, in this new age of marketing, everybody with a brand, you gotta learn how to use these to your advantage. You know what I mean? So salute to Tekashi 6ix9ine. I can't even be mad at him, man.
Hey, he's doing it right, man. His streams, he's got 100 million streams on like one particular song. There's another one's got like 40 million streams. He's winning, man.
Yeah, he is, man. Salute to Mike White. He says clickbait. Yeah, clickbait like a motherfucker. Jammin Gresham says, what's up, P and Daniel? What it do, Jammin? Robert Hicks is in the building. He wishes us a happy Valentine's Day, man. Appreciate the love. Happy Father's Day. Hey, you heard that, right? I said happy Valentine's Day. I meant to say happy Father's Day, man. Damn it.
Oh, shit, I forgot. Fuck. No wonder she would talk to me this morning.
Yeah, man. Tim Jackson says he has not messed with the right one yet, right? OG King Blood says no, PThePolitician, he don't. Okay. Don Gaffia, I'm so sorry. I jacked your name up every week. Said, where the butt naked strippers at? Happy Father's Day, y'all. Real talk, man. Robert Hicks says, man, P, love the tie and shirt combo. I'm going to say that one more time because I was argued with earlier when I went to go put this on that I shouldn't wear this particular bow tie with this shirt. Damn it, I appreciate the love, Robert Hicks. Thank you. Haha. Spit in the person's face that was arguing with me on my attire selection. How about that?
Yeah, P knows P more than anybody knows P. P knows what's a good look for P.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed, man. So, yeah. This is a great segue into our next topic, man. I want to talk about social media attention. And you and I, man, we have built a relationship on ways that you can really maneuver through social media. You know what I mean? You, DJ Scott, are one of the masters. I consider you a master on how to maneuver through social media. So, with that being said, man, let me throw it your way just to kind of start the topic off, man.
So, I guess going back to what I was saying while we were on the topic just then, you know, a lot of artists and producers and people with the craft full stop who are pushing something online are just, you know, putting stuff out and praying as opposed to, you know, coming up with the creative. What a lot of creative people do is they spend all their creativity in their craft or whatever. But then where's that creativity gone when it comes to pushing it, right? Where's your strategy? Where's your theme? Where's your ideas that are gonna, you know, set you apart in your marketing? If you can set yourself apart in the marketing, then your music's gonna go, your craft is gonna go, guaranteed. Because when you've got eyes on you and you've got attention, you can just tell people where to go with whatever you post next. You know what I mean? But if you're just posting as opposed to coming up with a strat, like one example, back when I was working with the industry, and we brought out a new course, and we made about 20 or 30 memes of like stuff like people crying and be like, oh, how you feel when you missed the early bird special on the Peep the Blueprint product. You know what I mean? And we were making people laugh, and we were getting a lot of likes on the memes, and then people were clicking the link and going ahead and then buying the product because we're coming up with a creative to go alongside it and a theme. Our theme was we're going to make these memes of people who missed out on their opportunity to, you know, get in early on one of our products, and we sold God knows how many more just off the fact that we're making people laugh. You know, as opposed to saying, yo, check out my new product. Doesn't work.
Solid right there, man. And so I meet so many people, man. I'm gonna be 40 July 23rd. Oh yeah, I'm plugging that in, man. I'm throwing this huge bash. Got a new restaurant that I'm helping to open up, Chucktown Bar and Grill. Shameless plug. That's where we gonna have a party at for my 40th birthday. And I bring up the fact that I'm turning 40 because I meet a lot of people in my age group, you know, people I went to school with that have businesses, you know what I mean? And they could be so much more successful if they just get out of the mind state of, I'm not going to go on social media to share my life. Like, you know, my age group, man, we just grew up in a time to where, you know, shit stays in your house. You know what I'm saying? You don't put it out there. But what we have to realize, especially as entrepreneurs, business owners, it's a new day and age right now. And it's not about putting all your business out there. It's about learning how to utilize this right here. You show people what you want them to see. That way you're able to get your message out. You know what I mean? So I can't tell you how many times I meet people on a day-to-day basis. I just kind of feel like they're stuck on stupid a little bit. And they're missing so many opportunities that they could garner from. You know what I mean? So social media, the power of social media is amazing because you can utilize this tool that people are using for fun to propel your business in different ways. You know what I mean? Like, for example, every time I go on a trip, I just went to Disney World, took my daughter out there. I could have been, that was a, you know, very private thing. You know what I mean? Me, my daughter, my wife. But I shared little moments here and there just to let people know, hey, I'm human. You know, a lot of people, they see me in front of their screens doing things on social media as far as shows are concerned. A lot of stuff I do for the radio. But you got to show people that you're human because that's what people are out here relating to on social media. You know what I mean?
For real, man. And it could be the smallest thing. Like one example is you uploaded the picture of you in a Goofy hat. How easy is that to do? And people just love that shit. I did some painting in my bedroom, well, in the baby's room the other day. And I took a picture with paint on my hand. And a lot of people like that shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, just paint in the bedroom because I'm, you know, that's my real life.
Yeah.
And how trivial is that shit? Like, all I did was take a picture of my hand with a bit of paint on it because I was painting a room. And I got like 30, 40 likes on that. Just,
yeah.
You know, it's that easy. It doesn't have, if I was just spending all day saying, yo, check out the podcast, check out my blog, check out my website, support me, that it's just fucking, you become just like this monotonous existence on the internet.
And people ignore that shit, you know, it flies past them. What you got to realize, man, there is so much shit that gets flown past you on these devices. What are you genuinely paying attention to? You've got to not only be good, not be great, but you've got to be outstanding. You just mentioned that before when we were talking earlier. You also did a video about a year ago that was talking about how computer screens and mobile devices are windows. I'm gonna throw it your way. I don't know if you remember that video.
Yeah. I definitely remember the concept where it's just like, you know, if someone was walking past, say your social media is a window. If someone was walking past our window, would they just carry on walking, or would they say, hey, what the fuck is going on in that shit? You know what I mean? Would there be something interesting for people to look at? And like, for anyone watching this right now, I want any comment, and I don't expect to see any comments. I better not see any comments. Who is out here on the internet looking for boring stuff? Looking for stuff that's going to bore them? Absolutely fucking nobody. Absolutely fucking nobody is like, you know what? I feel like being bored. You know what I mean? Everyone wants to be, if not excited, if not laughing, just interested. You know what I mean? And if you cannot create that emotion in people, like that's straight up what it is. You might think it's your friend list hating. You might think it's this. You might think it's that. But hey, bro, let me tell you straight. The reason people ain't fucking with you is because your shit's boring. No, I'm just saying, right? And no, forget the tone. I might sound like I'm being harsh, but you know, I'm just trying to be as real as I can with you. If people are not fucking with you on social media, your shit's boring. Because if it was exciting, people would fuck with you, whether they like you as a person or not. You know, that's just, it would get
pretty much sums it up, man. And it goes back to what I was saying before, like people, and what you were just saying, ain't nobody clicking on social media to be bored. You know what I mean? So step your shit up. That's what it is, man.
But yeah, this is, we're just trying to help. You know what I mean? Just you're more interesting than you realize. Because like think about things like you know, when you find out something that everybody does and you're like, I thought it was just me. You know what I mean? And if you just tell people who you are, tell people what you do, it's just being relatable as well as being interesting. It's being relatable. It's like don't want to go back too much, but like I was saying with the paint on my hand, that's a lame ass picture. Essentially, it's just nothing exciting about that. But so many people have painted their house, you know. And I know it sounds fucking stupid and trivial, you know what I mean? But if you're not sharing who you are as a person, how is anyone going to be like, yeah, I identify with that person?
Right.
Because right now the only people identifying with you is the same people doing the same shit as you, which is just being boring and posting music. And that's why you're stuck in this circle of all artists and all producers that are just all stuck, not going nowhere. You know what I mean? Because the people who find they can relate to you is the people who doing fuck all. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It makes total sense, man. And, you know, just outside of the realm of artists, I mean, with any brand, you know what I mean? I'm about to help open up this restaurant, Chucktown Bar and Grill. And the marketing campaign that we are on the verge of rolling out, it's not about come to our restaurant, come to our restaurant, come to our restaurant. That's not what we're trying to sell you on. We're trying to sell you on coming out and having a good time. You know what I mean? Come out and, be around other people, socialize. And that's what social media is. Socialization. What's the first word in the phrase social media?
Ooh, I know this one. I know this one. I know this one. No, I don't know. What's the first word?
Goddamn social media. Be motherfucking social. That's what it is, man.
Don DeMarco.
Yo, Carlos Johnson in the building. What it do, Carlos? Yo.
What's people saying anyway? What's everyone in the comments say? Drop us some comments, man. Let us know. Tell us a little bit about you.
Indeed.
And if you see something you relate to in the comments, add a person, get talking to them. We're all on a journey together. You know what I mean? And I found I used to do these posts back in the day where I'd be like, comment underneath. This was back when I was like thriving on the get rich rapping stuff. So I had like friends list full of rappers and producers and stuff. I just say comment below and just start talking to each other and add each other and shit. And the amount of people and it just built this network around us. You know what I mean? Like I had connected all these people, and because all these people were connected through me, we just had, everybody was getting a ton of likes and a ton of shares and a ton of comments, you know. And I think it's just going back to what you're saying about being social. You know what I mean? So yeah, drop us some comments, man. Introduce yourself. Anyone who's looking to collab with anybody else, anyone who's looking for a producer, any producer that's looking for an artist, anything anyone's looking for, comment. And not just now, just now, like, and every podcast going forward, introduce yourself. Let us know you're watching. Let people know you're down to work or whatever, and let's get some real network building. You know?
Indeed, man. I see Mike White. He wrote prolificmikewhite.net, man. Salute to Mike White for real, man. He sent me a picture the other day that showed me that he got his LLC, man. And for anybody who's ever had an LLC, they send you like this brown binder. And he sent me the picture of that, man. I was so proud of him, man. Salute to him one more time, for real. Adam Williams is cheesing in the comments right now. He says, "What's up? Happy skeet between the cheeks day." Yeah, you ain't never lied about that, boy.
Oh, man, Adam Williams is here. Podcast is over. Let's go. Shout out Adam Williams, man. One of the funniest motherfuckers.
That motherfucker, listen, sometimes I just go to his page and scroll through just when I'm having a fucked up day.
I've told him a few times, man. You know when you're just skimming through the news feed for something that catches your eye? I instantly know Adam Williams before I even read the name. I know it's him. I know like the type of memes he shares, the type of things he says, I instantly know. You know what I mean? He's building a good brand around that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
is,
there's a lot of discussions and shit going down on his page on some controversial or some fucked up or some fucking petty shit, man. But I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just funny.
You know what? We ought to get Adam as a guest on here.
Hey, man,
shit, that's what we need to do, for real.
So. I want full savage mode Adam as well, man. That's the Adam I want on the fucking podcast.
For real, though. For real. So let's go ahead and let's jump into it, man. I mean, we're on the topic of social media, getting attention in there, but it's deep because it's psychological. You know what I mean? So I want to talk about the 48 laws of power, right? So we last week we mentioned one of the 48 laws. We're not going to go through all 48 of them right now, but we're going to go through 10 of them. The first 10, right? Because all this stuff that we're talking about completely is revolving around psychology. You know what I mean? Hold on. This is how we're gonna do it. This is my brother right here. Hold on. What's good with you? Hey man, I appreciate it, man. Guess what, man? I got you on the air. I finally got you on as a guest on one of my shows. How about that? I'm live right now. Hey man, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm good. I'm feeling this on my thing, man. So can't complain, man.
I feel that, man. I appreciate you calling me and wishing me a happy Father's Day, man. I love you, brother.
Sir, it's all love. Love you too, bro.
All right, man. When I get off the air, I'm gonna definitely hit you up.
Sir, I like that.
All right, Dave. Peace. That's love right there, man. Shouts out to my brother, man. Adam Strong. I love you, brother. I forgot what we was talking about. That threw me. Oh, 48 laws of power.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
So, boom, the 48 laws of power, man. It boils down to psychology because all the stuff that we're talking about, even down to the Tekashi 6ix9ine, down to the North Korea and Trump meeting, it's 100% psychology here, right? So, first and foremost, if you're out here trying to build your brand and you don't understand that there is a definite psychology behind what you got going on, you're already lost. So, let me throw it your way, DJ Scott. How have some of the 48 laws of power worked for you?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I was lost, man. I thought you were gonna run the video and shit. I was just waiting for you to run that.
Yeah. I'm stalling right now.
Okay, no doubt. I like low. I'm sure I'll stick to the first 10. I like make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. Just for this particular concept, right? When people approach you, you have the power. If someone wants something from you, then you have the power in that situation, right? If in most of the conversations you have, let's say you have 10 conversations and in 9 of those you are the person who's paying, then you're a consumer and not the producer. You know what I mean? You've got to find yourself on the end of these conversations where people are paying you or people are asking you for something, as opposed to, and this is why people should save their favors, because a lot of people are asked for favors at the drop of the hat. Like one example is people who ask me shit without going to Google first. You're spending favors with people.
Right.
You're spending favors that you should be saving.
That's
you know what I mean?
Man, I'm telling you, man, every day I get hit in my inbox with questions that people ask me where you could have found the answer right there on Google. You know what I mean?
Shit, like one I've got a lot is how do I get my music on streaming platforms? Type that exact fucking question in Google. It'll fucking exactly tell you better than I will. You know what I mean? And now I've got a negative, not necessarily negative, but I think you're a bit of a slow motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I really want to do business with you if you ask me these type of questions.
And Google how to get your music on streaming platforms. And no offense to nobody, we're only ever trying to help. You know what I mean? But stop spending your favors.
Yeah, real shit. Well, let's jump into this video real quick, man, and talk about it. All right. Bow.
Law number 1: never outshine the master. Nicolas Fouquet made the mistake of appearing larger than his king, Louis XIV, and spent his remaining days incarcerated. Avoid victories over superiors. It will cost you more than it is worth. Law number 2: never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Michael III of the Byzantine Empire was saved from death by Basilius, who Michael in turn favored with gifts and prestige. Basilius, lusting for more power, murdered Michael out of greed. Instead of showing gratitude, he was insatiable. Trust from a distance. People are selfish and pursue their own interests. Former opponents make more loyal and stronger friends. Law number 3: conceal your intentions. The Marquis de Sévigné wanted to seduce a young countess. Instead of being indirect and subtle, he exposed his true feelings for her and she lost all interest, as he blurted out that he loved her. Add a sense of unexplicable mystery to your character. Law number 4. Always say less than necessary. Law number 5. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. During the Second World War, Erwin Rommel was known for his superior skill in cunning and deceptive strategy. All of the opposition were demoralized and doubting their chances of success facing him. Your reputation precedes you. Build and protect it carefully. Law number 6. Court attention at all cost. Pablo Picasso would not allow himself to fade into the background. He would rather paint something out of the ordinary and ugly than be forgotten. All publicity is good publicity. Don't let yourself become one of many. Law number 7. Get others to do the work for you. Thomas Edison wasn't much of a scientist, but a businessman. He would capitalize on Nikola Tesla's genius and garner all the credit. Hire talents capable of doing what you can't. Law number 8. Make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. When I have laid bait for deer, I don't shoot at the first doe that comes to sniff, but wait until the whole herd has gathered round. Otto von Bismarck. Force your opponent to react to your moves. Law number 9. Win through your actions, not through argument. Mucius needed strong ships. Without guarding his tongue, his engineer argued that a different type than the one Mucius preferred would be much better for conquest. Despite being right, the engineer was sentenced to death. Don't argue with authorities. Agree and suggest an alternative, then demonstrate. Law number 10. Infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. Lola Montes brought down the king of Bavaria and his whole kingdom by seducing him. Her lust for destruction and chaos was insatiable. Countless lives perished because of her nature. Cut off the fire starters. Try to help them instead and you will burn alongside them.
That's all we're going to do for right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go through the first 10. And we just run them down. I wrote them down real quick. 1 through 10. Never outshine the master. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use your enemies. Conceal your intentions, number 3. Number 4 is always say less than necessary. That's my favorite one right there. So much depends on reputation, so guard it with your life. That's number 5. Number 6 is court attention at all costs. Number 7, get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Number 8 is make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. Number 9 is win through your actions, never through argument. And number 10, infection, and avoid the unhappy and unlucky. Now, just reading that out loud, that sounds like, damn, that's some evil, manipulative shit. And so, yeah, you could use it for evil purposes, but you could also use it for good purposes because at the end of the day, it's just psychology, man. It has been proven and studied that people think in a certain manner. So this is just exposing how people think for you to benefit. Now, if you use it for evil or good, hey, that's up to you and your character. But these are definite principles that are really breaking down the psychology of people. You know what I mean? So salute to the 48 laws of power. Every week we're going to be talking about it.
Absolutely. I like the number 10 as well. The avoid the unhappy and unlucky, man. And I think this is something we've all got to practice, man. I know we want to be a nice person, and we think about all the times that, you know, we've been around these people, and you know how you said like it can be used for evil things. You know, sometimes it's evil, sometimes it's just, do you want to make it or not?
Survival of the fittest.
You know what I mean? A lot of things in life, man, it doesn't matter how we feel about them. Some things are just necessary.
Yeah.
And I think cutting off people from your life that are just like draining the energy out of you or you know, holding you back, I think that's a necessary. That's absolutely necessary.
I liken that statement to trimming the fat. You know what I mean? Because people, especially people that are really close to you, they can become energy drainers. And you will not be able to move if you have all of this weight on you. Let me tell you something. Steve Harvey did a video. I love Steve Harvey. A lot of people feel indifferent about him. A lot of people are mad at Steve Harvey, but he made a video. can't remember where in the world I saw it. Maybe a video, maybe I heard it somewhere. But he was talking about success as, imagine being in the 1800s and you're trying to carry a buggy across the country to make it out there to California to get the gold, right? Now your dreams are all inside of this buggy. But on this buggy, you got all these other people hanging on to the buggy. You understand what I'm saying? So you have people you've known all your life. You have siblings, you have cousins, you have close friends. You got new people who see this buggy that want to hitch a ride. But here's how you know who to keep with you. Because when that buggy breaks, and eventually it will, it's 3,000 miles to the other side of the country. Who is there helping you switch out the tires on that buggy? Now keep in mind, you ain't got no rubber tire. You can't call AAA. You gotta stop the buggy. You gotta find a way to replace that tire. Who's gonna be on that buggy watching you replace it? And who's gonna be there actually helping you replace it? You know what? The motherfuckers who's not there helping you replace the tire, leave their ass right where you stand. And that's pretty much the what I heard from Steve Harvey, man. I just think that's a really good attitude to have. I mean, you'll have people around you just watching. That's dead weight, man. If they're not there to contribute, to help you to all get to the same place, why are they there? You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. And I know a lot of people feel like, oh, you know, that person is, you know, my parents or my family or, you know, my best friends. And you don't necessarily have to completely cut people off, but be comfortable telling them, listen, I don't want to hear that shit.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Be comfortable saying, even if you don't say that, just when they start talking about it, just walk away or something, you know what I mean? But you don't have to, just whatever you do, don't stand there and listen to people's shit like that.
And
I mean, like,
so for me, I don't necessarily cut people off. I just put people in their own little magical box. You know what I mean? So I've got friends that I grew up with, known 30 plus years. But when it comes to my business endeavors, I just know when I go around there, I don't talk to them about it. You know what I mean? Because it's not beneficial to talk to them about it. A lot of my family members, I don't talk to them about my business endeavors. It's not beneficial. But you know what? I love you. So we can still kick it. We can eat these crab legs. We can drink a drink. We can have a good time. But as far as my goals, I already have you in a certain box, and I know to not even try to take you out of that box to see what I'm doing. You feel me?
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Because here's the thing as well is if people don't know anything about, like, say you're pushing something online, if people don't know anything about the online stuff, they're not really, like, unless they're super interested and they've got some aspirations to do it themselves. You know, like think about the amount of times that you've gone to one of your friends and you said, yo, I'm working on a album, I'm gonna do this, and they say, oh yeah, that's cool, man. They're in the conversation, they're in the people you want to be having those conversations with. You want people, how many tracks you're gonna put on there,
right?
You know, how are you planning to promote it? Do you need any help with that? Or check out, how about you try this? You know, I mean, they're the kind of people you want to be around, not people say, oh, bet, word.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yo, Henry Arkwright says, you got two sides, buyers and sellers. Pick a side. That's deep right there. He also says, surround yourself with winners, or at least people that's trying to win. Eventually, you will win. For real, man.
But there is a lot you can learn from, like, people maybe not have got anywhere, but, you know, they're just working towards that platform and they got some good ideas, man. Just people who want to engage and want to, you know, back and forth on ideas and stuff.
Real talk, man. Shouts out to Chris Stevens, Lee Davis. I see you in the building. Eric Benet's in the building. Tanya Chambers in the building. Shouts out to my man N-Dub Washington, man. What it do, man? Sierra Myers in the building. What's good with you, baby?
You say Eric Benet's watching?
Eric Benet is in the building.
What, the Eric Benet?
The Eric Benet. There's only one Eric Benet.
What? Am I getting... I'm sure there's a singer called Eric Benet.
Yeah, the one and only Eric Benet.
What, the actual Eric Benet is watching?
Eric Benet.
Damn, son. We made it.
Or at least somebody named Eric Benet. I don't know about Eric
Okay.
Benet. You know what I mean? But shouts out to Eric Benet. Brian's page is also in the building, man. What it do? So, yo, man, let's chop it up, man. I was sitting here and, you know how sometimes you get lost in a rabbit hole on social media? Mm-hmm. I feel like this one was a very good rabbit hole to be lost in, man. I found something that YouTube is doing I had no idea that they were doing. So to all my entrepreneurs in the crowd, man, listen up, man. This is big right here. Real big win, man. I want to talk about what is called Facebook on, let me make sure I got the name right. YouTube Director on Site, not Facebook, excuse me. YouTube Director on Site. YouTube is out here doing big things. I'm so used to saying Facebook. It's fucked that all the way up. It's YouTube. And they pretty much have a program to where as long as you get the advertising, then they will come out to you in your business and shoot an actual video commercial for your business for free. You know what I mean? And I think that this is huge, especially for all of the entrepreneurs out here who are not really understanding the benefit of YouTube advertisement, Facebook advertisement, things of that nature. You know what I mean? So this right here, really, really huge, man. DJ Scott, man, when I told you about it, how'd you feel?
Yeah, I think that's a chance. Like, if you're gonna spend money on YouTube advertising, which is a good idea if you're trying to grow a channel, that's money well spent anyway. If you do the right creative for the ad, and it's a good ad for $3.50, you're gonna get a lot of subscribers anyway. But to get a free commercial for your channel too, yeah, that's big time. That should encourage a lot of people to spend some money on YouTube advertising. And to be honest, I think that right now that's a great place to be advertising.
And the thing about it for me was, all right, you're going to need to spend on advertisement regardless. So the mere fact that they'll come out and, like, listen, you ain't got to worry about trying to find a professional videographer to shoot your video. They'll come out, shoot the video for you, and all you got to do is spend money on something you was going to spend it on any damn way. I mean, let's jump into it, man. I'm going to let YouTube explain exactly what they got going on. They can do it better than I can.
At Legends Car Rentals, we have cars that you need to see to believe.
Today with the Sock is the Sock of the Month Club, where we send a surprise pair of socks to people around the world.
We knew we needed a video ad to keep up with everybody. We didn't know where to start. We rent cars. I don't know about videos.
We were contacted by a YouTube account representative, and they said that they wanted to produce a video for us, and I asked them how much it cost, and they said it's just a commitment to spending on Google AdWords.
The YouTube director called us before she came out, gave us some very important suggestions.
Our director was amazing. She helped us set everything up, and then we kind of just went into shooting. She made it like super playful.
It was simple. We were done in a couple hours. By the end of the next week, the video was out. I saw it. The production was great.
Once we finished the video, we had a lot of support from Google.
A YouTube ad specialist really worked with us to determine who our target audience was and make sure that the video was seen by the right people.
The ad captured what Legends was about. It captured the culture, what the customer wants to feel. It was terrific.
I would definitely recommend YouTube Director on Site.
Salute to YouTube out here trying to assist in people growing their brand. Let's jump into it, man. I kind of feel like, you know what? For this show, we need to go ahead and contact YouTube. You know what I think would be dope? Is if we did that and we documented the process, and then we created a fucking show around it, man. That would be dope. Cool. So,
yeah, man, we got to chop it up about that sometime.
Yeah, we do, man. We really do, man. Yo, I want to know some of the things that are working for you guys out there who are pursuing your brands. You know, some of the wins that you've had, some of the losses that you have. Share it. You know what I mean? Let's talk about it. What do you guys think in general about this YouTube director on site? How do you feel about that? Is there something that you think you can utilize? Let's chop it up. You know what I mean? DJ Scott, it's almost about that time, man. How you feeling?
Oh, man. I'm just trying to come up with an outro now, to be honest. Just off the cuff. I've done the Jamaican. Maybe I can get in depth on the African one this time.
Indeed.
Hey, I feel like we had a good episode, man. I feel like we covered some good topics. I feel like, yeah. Shout out to the Don't Stress Success podcast. Shout out PThePolitician. Shout out everybody who's watching.
Yo, when you get
everyone
close to the mic,
back.
though, it makes a huge impact on your voice.
That's right.
Salute to everybody tuned in. That's what it is, man. What you got planned for the rest of the day, my brother?
I'm going gym.
See that shit, bro? Oh shit, he's beefed up. It's beefed up.
Go to the gym and then figure out from there, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm going to play on Father's Day. Gonna go out there and see that on Incredibles 2. Got
nice.
tickets for that. Go hit up my favorite Jamaican spot.
Yeah.
Get me some curry chicken. That's what it is. Shouts out to One Love, man.
They better not let you touch your wallet, man. This is your day, Keef.
That's right. Is what it is, man. Listen, man. Salute to everybody tuned in. Mike White is in the building. He says I'm definitely going to contact YouTube. Why wouldn't I? It can only promote my brand. Indeed. Yo, Mike White, this is a process that I have not gone through. So let me know how it works out if you do indeed do it. I'm looking to do it for some endeavors for myself. So let's figure this out together. That's what it is, man. He also says, Happy Father's Day. Salute and Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out here getting it in. Salute to all the deadbeats, too. I am PThePolitician.
I am Daniel J. Scott. Daniel J. Scott.
Daniel J. Scott. This is the Don't Stress Success podcast. We out.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, my brothers and sisters, for tuning into the podcast. You can find us every Sunday at the same place, roughly the same time. We cover a variety of topics, from marketing to current events. Thank you.